just lost 1-0 to Burnley. Deservedly so as well. I thought Burnley were the better side, or at least considering the context of the game. We had 2 weeks off, they had 2 days off, and they won the game deservedly so. Wolves still actually kind of weirdly have a chance to get in Europe, which is mental. But look, it's not happening. West Ham and Man United are probably going to finish above us, and this season we're going to finish 8th. Newcastle could catch us, maybe Leicester, but that's not going to happen. We'll probably finish 8th. And look, this isn't me being negative. I think 8th is still a good season. But actually, let's start on the game. Obviously, we were crap. The lineup came out. I think everyone was quite excited. Johnny playing left back. Everyone wanted that. I thought the only real positives were the fullbacks and Bolly. I thought Willy Bolly was actually really good. I've criticised him a bit since he's come back. Thought Bolly had a good game, but apart from that, it was kind of it. Fabio Silva made a couple of good runs. Hwang was stuck out on the left, and Jimenez was playing as a right winger for some reason. I suppose you can get away with that against Burnley, but it was a crap performance. It was, it's hung quite a lot this season. It felt very Nuno in his final season. But there's no point going into that game. It was a boring game. We were crap. But I think the kind of emphasis kind of goes on to next season. As good as we've been in finishing 8th, because let's be honest, we're going to finish 8th. We have overperformed a bit. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you look at next season, obviously other teams will improve. It's key we get the investment right. When you look at expected points this season, I know expected points isn't always a great metric, but Wolves are 6th bottom. We're only 2 points above Everton on expected points. And expected points isn't always a great metric, but it shows we have overperformed. And a lot of that has been because of, obviously, Jose Sarr. And that's fine. Jose Sarr could just be an elite goalkeeper. And that's good recruitment. That's what good recruitment gets you. But it just feels like at the moment there's, especially in the attack, obviously we need a centre-back, we need a central midfielder, but it feels like the whole attack kind of needs a reform. And it's going to be a big job for Bruno Lage in the summer, because the squad feels a bit unbalanced right now. And it feels like unless we get the recruitment right, we could 8th is going to be the ceiling, which is fine. I get it. We're not a top 6 club. And you're always kind of going to cap out eventually. Leicester have kind of shown that. But it just feels like we're carrying a few players right now. And I tweeted it during the game. I like Bruno. I think he's done a good job getting us 8th. But I think there's some weird things about him. He keeps playing Marcelo over Nuri. The Hwang Yi-chan obsession's weird. I've got nothing against Hwang. I'm sure he could be good in a different role or something. But he's so limited. I don't get what his obsession with him is. And when you're playing as Burnley, you need someone who can beat a man and carry a ball. He's kind of an average dribbler. He doesn't really carry the ball forward. I think it's a bit weird. And for me, we need a centre-back and a central midfielder. Ruben Neves might leave. Roman Saiss might leave. Giammattino might leave. There's a lot. Marcel's going to leave. There's a lot of questions in the defence and the midfield. And Wolves will probably solve that. But then you've also got the attack to solve. It feels like kind of this season will probably be repeated again next season. And if Jose Sarr doesn't have a freakishly good goalkeeping season where he's literally been the best goalkeeper in Europe, it's concerning. And I tweeted this earlier, and for me, when I look at our attack, to make it work next season, it feels like there's so many things that have got to happen. It feels like Pedro Neto's got to come back and be... These are the things I think have to happen for the attack to even become competent, let alone amazing. It feels like Pedro Neto's going to have to come back and hit the ground running. It feels like Morgan Gibbs-White's going to have to adapt to the league and kind of put up his Sheffield United form. It feels like Fabio Silva's going to have to get more minutes over Raul Jimenez and kind of add goals to his game. It feels like Hwang's kind of going to have to be phased out a bit, but I can't really see Bruno doing that. And we need an attacking sign on the top, especially if we don't keep Trincao just for numbers. Then you've got the midfield to solve. You need to buy a more dynamic midfielder. Probably have to replace Ruben Neves. Probably have to solve Giammattino's contract. Probably have to buy a left back if Marcel leaves. Probably need a centre back as well. And maybe we'll even have to change the formation. It feels like there's so many questions going on now where, look, we'll probably finish 8th. We'll probably have a boring end to the season. We'll probably lose to Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. We'll probably beat Brighton and scrape a win against Norwich and finish 8th. And it's still a good season, but it feels like there's so many question marks about this squad, and it's going to be... Look, last season it was understandable because of COVID and FFP, and considering all those things, 8th is a good achievement. But the sounds kind of coming out of the club is we'll probably spend a bit more money, but not loads. And when Newcastle are only a few points behind us and they're going to spend money, Leicester will improve, West Ham will improve, the clubs around us will improve. And if we don't really spend, and not even just spend money, spend it properly and solve key areas in that squad, it feels like this kind of might be the limit. And yeah, I think that's kind of what the Burnley game showed to me. We're fine. We've had we've had a good season. Bruno's done a good job, but this summer's massive. And it's kind of on Scott Sellers now. I don't mind Scott Sellers. I don't think he's done a bad job, but it feels like now he has to get this right, or this will probably be the max we'll see for the next few years. But yeah, overall bad game. Europe's done now for me. given our fixtures. We could get it mathematically, but we're not going to, especially with our recent form. And yeah, a bit of a disappointing end to the season, but there are positives. There are things we can take in. But it just feels like we might have plateaued a bit. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah,